There's late at night in this room, suitcase by the door. The light outside the window's weak. The world don't hear me anymore. I'm counting what's left of my sin on the edge of this bed. Took one last job, now I'm gone, but these ghosts still haunt my head. I can still hear the city hum. It won't let me leave alone. And now I'm packing up my past, but my hands still shake when I reach for the phone. Never thought I'd end like this, with nothing but this quiet room. I used to run with men in suits. Now I've lost that taste of doom. The money came easy, but the lies, they never let me breathe. Now the just won't let me leave. I should've known, should've seen the cost, should've seen the price. But the silence that I crave now is just a hollow sacrifice. I'm packing up my future, but it's heavier. I should've made my peace long ago, but the shadows always keep the score. The price of sight, it'll follow you wherever you go. You think you're free when you're running, but the past is all you know. You can leave the noise behind you, but the quiet's what you fear. The price of silence, boy, it's always right there near. I should've told you this sooner, but I couldn't find the words. I never wanted you to see me like this, always chasing what I deserve. Now this door's between us, I won't walk back through. And I hope you find the strength that I couldn't hold on to. I'm done with the deals, done with the game, done with the smoke-filled room. But the price of silence, kid, it's a price that always looms. Maybe I could've changed the way I moved, but I stayed too long. I learned the truth too late, when all that's left is the sound of a lonely song. The price of silence, it'll follow you wherever you go. You think you're free when you're running, but the past is all you know. You can leave the noise behind you, but the quiet's what you feel. The price of silence, boy, it's always right there near. string lights hanging overhead, suitcase tucked beneath the bench, old coat folded by the bed, ticket with a borrowed surname folded tight inside my hand, steel gray corridor behind me, silence stretching down the span, coffee cooling on the table, a plastic stirrer left afloat, glass those back my tired features in a second-hand dark coat. Feels like past a dirty window, empty platforms drift on by. I can almost hear you asking how long I will live this life. That first back room where I counted other people's cash, where the lockbox on the counter felt like lightning when it flashed. I was quieter than the others, steady eyes and even tone. They could send me into trouble, I would always come back alone. You kept saying this ain't living, I kept saying this is mine. Dim back tables, private doors, and that expensive little shine. But the higher that I climb there, the more distance in our bed. Every favor that I owe them put a price tag on your head. Now this train cuts through the darkness like a line across our days, and I'm speaking to your shadow in the glass beside my face. I'm the shadow in the window on a night train rolling slow. Build a life on quiet power in a city you don't know. All the weight I used to carry, all the names I won't confess, rattle out into the distance with this ticket and my mess. If there's mercy in this motion, if there's anything I swore, let it mark me as a man who led before the fire reached your door. There's a pistol in the suitcase wrapped in linen, oiled and still. There's a photograph of you there, folded, careful, folded real. There's a motel key I pocketed and never walked back to the desk from the last time that I held you in that faded summer dress. If I stayed and tried to fix it, they would turn your face on me. Every weakness is a weapon in the circles I don't see. So I'm cutting out a distance. You can curse me for one day, 'cause it takes a heart of courage to be the one who walks away. Every man who deals in thunder thinks his page won't hit the stage, thinks his letter stay unfinished, thinks he'll choose his own way back. But the ledger doesn't bargain, it just waits beside the track. Every line that bears my writing is the reason I lean back. I'm the shadow in the window on a night train, cutting lines, leaving deeds and quiet rumors in the corridors behind. All the stories they can trade me, all the myths of what I am, a villain with a borrowed heart, or just a man who finally ran. If there's mercy in this motion, let it never touch your floor. Let it ride me as a one who left, so the fire won't find your door. Old grog humming over a bottle, second-hand aches away. Back door open too. You can feel the metal rail, smell the sun, the camp on the water. I keep gloves inside my pocket, never leave them in the car. When the phone sings past midnight, I'm already where you are. You don't see me in the pictures when the stories hit the street. I just straight and crooked and read, brush the chaos off feet. You say it's just another favor, just another quiet task, but every favor has a fee behind the questions I don't ask. I'm the man they call at 3 a.m. when the damage is too deep for them to mend. I don't talk about the scene, I just walk and close the door and draw the end. Gentleman, but my hands remember every shattered plan. I'm the man they call at 3 a.m. and it always leaves a stain. There's a picture in my wallet of a kid with crooked grin. We were drinking burned up coffee, swearing we'd stay out of sin. Years went by and I kept cleaning, kept his boots out of the mud, till one night they slid a folder with his name in red and flood. Under rusted warehouse rafters, heard the river breathing slow. Saw his lighter on the table, watched the overhead light glow. There are lines you swear are solid till you're staring at the tape, and the choice is let him vanish or go help him cross the gate. I'm the man they call at 3. When the story can't afford another end, I don't beg and I don't plead, I just follow what the paper wants to send. But I look down at that folder with his name, and for once I let the orders ride the rain. Still I'm the Close the door behind you, kid. Let that hallway settle down. Take that leather chair in front of me. Don't worry about the sound. There's a lamp on this open ledger. Little islands of old ink. Under glass and folded paper lies more power than you think. See that safe behind a panel. See that phone that never rings. If it buzzes after midnight, someone's losing more than sleep. Out this window, this whole city looks like circuits in the dark. Every quiet line that runs here passes somewhere through my mind. I've turned favors into figures with a pencil in my hand. Pulled a man from loud to missing with a stroke I'll never understand. Every handshake at this table carves another cut in you. Every soft alright I owe you cost a piece you never knew. There's a folder in this drawer with men who thought they couldn't fall. Dates and numbers, little notes beside the night I got the call. You say you wanna wear these cufflinks, sign the pages in my place. You don't see the empty hallway, see the tailored taste. You keep talking about respect like it's just money, suits and steel. But there's a weight that isn't listed when you total up the deal. You want the view from this chair. You want the silence in the air. You want the way the room stops moving every time you're sitting there. But the ledger doesn't show what it takes to hold that stare. All the ghosts that stand behind you, that's the cost of the chair. Look down at this little chessboard by the corner of the glass. Every knight and pawn I shifted had a shadow in the past. There's a name scratched on the underside from a friend who used to joke. He ain't here to sign these pages now, just a story never spoke. Hear the elevator humming, stops on floors you'll never see. Men who think they run this city still come knock and wait on me. You keep saying you are ready to do whatever this requires. You ain't counted up the nights you feel your heartbeat in the wires. I've watched brothers turn to strangers over numbers in a row. Watched a woman across my eyes. Motel key on the Bible, letter folded by my hand. I've been writing you all evening with words you'll never scan. Machine down the hallway, coughing every time it stalls. My boots by the door still carry someone else's town. Engine humming in my chest, but this body won't sit down. You fell for the quiet side, not the noise behind my trade. Thought these hands were built for holding, not the deals that had to fade. Every favor that I carried wore a number on its back. Every smile that I collected had a ledger in the black. When the heat climbed up my collar, they started circling my lane. So I packed away our mornings, left you outside of the flame. Told you you'd be safer if you never knew the route I took. Now your shadow rides beside me every time I steal a look. There's a part of me that's driving and a part that never moves. One keeps the car between the lines, one pays the hidden dues. I'm a last exit gentleman, headlights low and clean. Leave before the trouble flowers, never stay to see the scene. I don't raise my voice, I just raise my leaving hand. Walk out while the fire's small and let it find another man. Yeah, I move in quiet circles where the long road starts to bend. I don't wait to beg forgiveness, I just vanish like a friend. Fold his letter back in third, slide it in my jacket seam. Kill the screen and let the silence fill the corners of this room. Neon from the diner flickers on the hood outside my door. Gas pump ticking under starlights, insects buzzing at the floor. I check the mirrors on the windshield like I'm checking who I am. Just a man who keeps on moving by the rules of his own hand. But the truth sleeps in the glove box with your picture been torn. You can walk out of a doorway, but not out of what you've sworn. If you hear an engine idling low out past your gate, if the night leans in and whispers like it's keeping you awake, that's the part of me that stayed there, pacing circles in your room, while the rest keeps chasing borders underneath the hanging moon. I'm a last exit gentleman, headlights low and clean. Leave before the questions corner, never wait to watch you lean. I don't draw a gun, I just draw a line and go. Let the steadier men stay and fix it, I slip back into the road. Yeah, I walk like I'm in control, with my hand upon the wheel. But the miles ride out the verdict on the man I never heal. just in a back room more than a big hall. Low to mid-register, slightly raspy, and a mid-singing behind the beat with Spacers Blues. Singing behind the beat with Spacers Blues. Used to be a kid beside me, called him brother in my head. Kid beside me, called him brother in my head. He would grin straight into trouble, say, relax, we're hard to shred. I would sit here with the bosses, draw the lines and write the schemes. He would drive through dead-end alleys, chase the ghosts that filled my dreams. Came a night the books turned crooked, something soured in the sun. So I handed him a folder, said go ask where this came from. He just laughed and took the briefcase, didn't see my slowing breath. Back room door swung soft behind him, I had sent him toward that test. On the page it looked like entries, just a column, just a name, just a question in a ledger, just a missing piece of game. But the floorboards keep a memory when your footsteps don't return. And the quiet man in the back room, I don't raise my voice, but still the whole room starts to move. Every glass, every doorway, every shadow knows my tune. And the power in my fingers leaves a mark I can't remove. Yeah, the quiet man in the back room counts the ones he couldn't prove. There's a chessboard by the bar safe, pieces frozen mid-attack. Black knight hanging over white king, waiting for my guiding tap. Every time they turn and watch me, eyes ask left or right tonight. I just nod and scratch a number, but I see his face in light. There's a jacket on the coat hook, no one's taken year on year. There's a booth we never service, there's a stain we call the mirror. They still slide me folded questions, edge of paper dark with sweat. I still answer like a habit, but I don't forgive the debt. Bartender leans in closer, says you could walk out that door. I just tap the open ledger, say my name lives on this floor. You can polish up your conscience, you can shine your cufflink brass, but if you're counting other man. You've still touched the broken glass. I'm the quiet man in the back room. I don't raise my voice, but still the whole room starts to move. Every nod, every silence, every pause becomes a cue. And the men who act for money think their choices all are new. But the quiet man in the back room knows who pushed them into view. I'm the quiet man in the back room with a ledger full of stories that no courtroom ever knew. If you think that I sit spotless, 'cause my shirt is pressed and smooth, know the calm behind these eyes is just the cost of every move. Yet a quiet man in the back room keeps the weight no one can prove. You came up in that slow elevator, tapping rhythm with your heel. New shoes, sharp coat, hungry eyes that say you're ready for a deal. Top floor of this old garage, concrete shining under lamps. You walk over like a question, with your hands stuffed in your pants. No, I'm leaning back on this dark sedan, arms folded, breathing slow. Up here you hear the highway hum and see how small the houses grow. I slide an envelope across the hood, say take a breath, don't speak. Every number on that paper is a wound that never leaks. I watch big boys in glass offices talk louder when they're scared. Saw a man lose half his future 'cause he thought nobody cared. I've seen engines in the river, promises burned out behind a shed. Learn to leave before the shouting, let the loud ones end up bled. You asked me how I made it, how I'm still here, still in play. With no headlines, no parade, just this same old suit of gray. I say I never chase the spotlight, let the noise forget my name. Get my circle small and quiet, let the fools go call it game. You think strength is all in volume, in the cut of what you wear, but power lives in empty rooms and in how you leave a chair. This is the quiet man's code, written low and left untold. Walk slow, talk less, let your story stay on hold. Keep your promise like a weapon that you never have to show. If you wanna breathe for years here, learn to move when others freeze slow. Yeah, this is the quiet man's code, carved in steel beneath your feet. Let them argue in the neon, you just listen to their trace. I see thunder in your heartbeat, see you reaching for a crown. But I buried men with brighter smiles in this very part of town. So I tap the hood beside you, say you don't need to be the flame, be the shadow on the wall that makes the fire forget your name. Don't explain more than you answer, don't show all the cards you hold, don't mistake a crowded table for a heart that won't be sold. Don't confuse a raised voice with a spine that's really firm. If you're doing this for glory, you should take the other turn. This is a quiet man's code, no applause and no bright sign. You protect the ones behind you, keep their faces off the line. Let your patience be the armor that they never see you wear. If you wanna last in this city, learn to vanish from the glare. Yeah, this is a quiet man's code, let it sink and let it stay in the backseat of your thinking every time you walk away. Yeah. Motel Arlene, leaning crooked on the wall, green neon through the curtain, throws a stain across it all. Desk lamp buzzing over paper with your name at the top, little coffee ring in the corner from a cup that went cold and stopped. Motel key on a plastic tag, 304 in faded blue. Suitcase waiting by the door like it already knows what I'll do. Highway humming in the distance, ice machine down the hall. Now I'm writing you a letter that'll never leave this wall. I've been living off these exits where the trucks all shake the glass, counting folded bills in glove boxes, letting nameless faces pass. I would call you from a payphone, say I'm fine and on my way. Leave out all the quiet meetings where the daylight wouldn't stay. You once said you'd drive out, throw your bags into my car, trade your careful little kitchen for a booth in some dim lit bar. But I keep you on the safe side of the map, you'll never see. There's a price tag on my shadow, and it doesn't touch your key. I pulled strings that turned a quiet road into a storm before, but the hardest move I make tonight is walking out that door. Goodbye from room 304, from a man who knows he could start a war with 3 short calls and 1 old score, but won't drag you through that anymore. I'm signing off with steady hands, letting go of what we planned. Goodbye from room 304, this is me, not coming back for more. is on the nightstand. Turned it down to catch my breath. Didn't want your eyes to watch me choose between you and what's left. There's an envelope half folded, never sealed and never stamped, next to highway flyers curling where the lamp has left them damp. Boots lined up beside the bed, laces tucked in clean and tight. I've always left my scenes this tidy, like I was never in the night. I'll leave cash inside an envelope with a name that you can trust, but I'll keep my face off every highway. That's the only way it must. If I loved you any softer, I would let you chase me down, right beside these wired back roads till they finally take us down. But I love you like a secret that I lock behind my chest, so I cut myself out of your future, so your future gets to rest. Goodbye from room 304, from a man who knows he could start a war with 3 short calls and 1 old score, but won't lay that weight on you anymore. I'm signing off with steady hands, breaking loose from what we planned. Goodbye from room 304, fold this ghost back into the floor. This lamb humming on the corner, casting lines across the grain. Ledger open like a wound that learned to spell somebody's name. There's a fountain pen still staining on the edge of my right hand. There's a suitcase by the doorway, tickets folded in the band. Under glass, the city flickered like a circuit running hot. Every window holds a secret, every floor a quiet plot. On the wall, the clock is ticking like a metronome for sin. I've been adding up the numbers, now the total's closing in. I move the hidden wages through a dozen careful banks. Turned a warehouse into numbers, turned a whisper into thanks. Sign my name in small and simple, where no eyes my cufflinks plain and silver, kept my tie in subtle blue. Never needed heavy gold to prove I saw the whole board through. When the phone would murmur softly, I was straightening up my coat, shift a column by an eyelash, then erase a single note. Faces lie and voices tremble, stories change with every glance, but the numbers stand there naked, they don't ever leave the chance. I keep the books clean, but there's ink on my hands, soon pressed sharp while the ground keeps shifting sand. I move the lines where the daylight never stands. Yeah, the books look clean, but there's ink on my hands. Bottom drawer is finally empty, every file has met its flame. Safe hangs open like a question that refuses to take blame. I slide the key card in my pocket, kill the screen and kill the light. Let the room fall back to quiet, let the glass turn into night. In the hallway vents are breathing, distant elevator chimes, boots tap out a low slow rhythm, like a list of unpaid crimes. I can ride it to the basement, disappear between the cars, or walk back and keep on riding, but they hide beneath their stars. All the ledges that I balanced, all the ghosts I never met, live in margins of my memory, in the sums I can't forget. You can white out every figure, you can burn each careful page, but your mind keeps quiet copies, locked behind a private cage. I keep the books clean, but there's ink on my hands. Suit stays calm while the ground keeps shifting sand. I drew the lines where the daylight never stands. Now I close this book with this ink on my hands. I keep the books clean, but there's ink on my hands. Walk out slow while the past makes its demands. If I vanish from this tower, from these plans, still the books stay clean, but there's ink on my hands. Last war, let it red your swams. It feels sweet at times, isn't that still feels no. The king ain't surely is a praise, something to prove. That I fail on the lie right hand. The sick door humming low behind his bound walls of plan. You keep your voice low, asking how to really win, how to make this city move without a mark on your skin. I used to be the last call in a long box hall. Was it all? Names on paper that would never see the day. You're just a figure sliding from one column into gray. I watched your brother fall when the numbers wouldn't bend. He trusted that the math would never turn on him, my friend. But the smallest margin is a knife you never see. Sign one change at midnight, left him outside, not free. You think it's all about the money and the cars, but power's in the shadows, not the lights or the bars. It's in the photos that nobody dares to touch, and the quiet voice that says that's enough. I don't raise my voice to shake the city around. I draw one line and your world falls down. I keep this city under glass and ink, make your future turn on what I think. I don't need a crown or a loaded hand, just a steady wrist and a steady plan. I'll move your life with a stroke of a pen, and the stain on my fingers never washes clean again. There's a metal box waiting in the corner of the room. Key on a lanyard like a little hanging moon. Inside every secret that keeps the floor from breaking. Debts and favors, every silent oath we're taking. Hallway lights flicker when we walk out late. You press the button, I decide the way. Who pays in full, who pays in fear, who gets a second chance, who disappears. Once I signed a line across the quiet man. He wasn't in the circle, but he brushed the plan. Just a small repair shop near the outer ring. Needed one more season to keep his family in the spring. I moved the digit just to cover one old debt. Saved a lot of name, let his name forget. Next year I passed his empty door again. Felt the silent window staring at my pen. I don't raise my voice to shake the city around. I draw one line and your world falls down. I keep this city under glass and ink, make your future swing on what I think. You wanna move like a hidden hand, man, you better love the weight of if and when. I move your life with a stroke of a pen, and the ghosts in the margins never let me sleep again. Just straighten pages, write you in or out. You want this power, count the cost, my friend. Every line you sign comes back again. lights cut through in straps, desk lamp burning like a spotlight on these columns and these tapes. You're standing by the leather chair, hands buried in your coat. I tap a silver fountain pen against the corner of this note. You remember when we started with a cash box and a key? You would talk and I stayed quiet, let the numbers talk for me. You were fire out in back rooms, I was calm behind the door. You would shake on crooked handshakes, I would write down every score. Now this table's getting crowded with the things you won't recall, but every favor, every promise has a line here, one and all. I'm the man who keeps a score, every debt and every sin, every quiet little shortcut that you thought would vanish in. I'm the gentleman in silence, with your future in my drawer. You can smile and touch my shoulder, but I know what you're here for. Yeah, I'm the man who keeps the score when this city asks for proof, and these pages won't forget you when the bullets want the truth. There's a chessboard by the window, king laid sideways on its side. Safe door breathing in the corner, steel and velvet locked inside. Briefcase waiting by the bookcase, one more folder, one more name. You keep saying we're like brothers, but your bets are not the same. I still see us in that hallway, counting small bills on the floor. You were laughing at tomorrow, I was guarding every door. Thought we'd build a quiet kingdom where the cracks would never show. Now I'm circling your last mistake and you're asking not to know. I'm the man who keeps a score, every ledger line and ink. Every time you cross the limit, while you ordered one more drink. I'm the whisper in the staircase when the heavy steps come up. I'm the calm hand on your shoulder when they come to call your bluff. Yeah, I'm the man who keeps the score, and tonight you're on the line. You can walk back down that hallway, but you're walking over mine when this city starts collapsing. shoes out in pulpit, dozing slow beneath the clouds below. Late haggis resting on the room back, yeah. Cufflinks stacked beside my wall. Polished shoes on the stone floor, pacing. Every step a second on the clock. I started out in one small office, second-hand desk and a humming fan. Signed my name on straight up paper, thought that's all it took to be a man. Then a red folder slid across the table, extra zeros for a simple nine. One late meeting past the staircase cameras, that's the night this building changes God. Now an elevator bell means moving, down below the lines exchange. One short call from this dark window and this whole city shifts its lanes. Top floor, different rules, I don't move, I move the room. I don't shout, I lift a glass and watch the current change its tune. Keep my hands clean where the lights can see, let my shadow do the climb. Top floor, different rules, the city answers when I change my mind. 3 phones resting on a blackwood table, each one wired to a different world. Lawyer breathing in a hidden earpiece, driver waiting where the ramps all swirl. There's a chessboard set beside the window, white king lying quiet on the felt. I don't talk about the pieces I've taken, I just count the pressure in the belt. Real power doesn't need an anthem, real weight never cracks a glass. You speak low when you own the echo, you walk slow when you own the path. You wanna sit where I'm standing, leave your need to be seen at the door. They don't carve your name on the skyline, they just call you when they can't afford a war. Top floor, different rules, I don't rush, I bend the time. I don't pray, I write the numbers and let the faithful fall in line. Keep my hands clean where the lights can see, let my quiet side define. Top floor, different rules, the city breathing rhythm with my sound. Chasing these highways, the city's fading slow. Rearview mirrors full of ghosts, but I can't let go. The road's my only friend, but it don't set me free. I'm running from my past, but it's still far city's breathing in my back. I hear its calls every step I take. I'm still inside its walls. I packed my bags for freedom, thought I'd leave it all. But every mile I drive, the city's standing tall. I thought the road would take me far away, but the city's always just a night away. I can feel it pulling like it's in my veins. No matter where I go, it's always the same. Ghosts in the rear view, they never leave. I'm running from the city, but it's all I'll ever see. The road ahead, it promises me relief, but the price is silence, yeah, never peace. I've seen this all before, the endless stretch of road. Another time to sleep in, but no place to call home. The lights flicker out behind me, but the shadow remains. Every town I leave, it feels like it's the same. I thought I could outrun it, escape the life I knew, but every step I take, it's like the past is following too. I hear the city whispering through the night air. No matter how far I drive, it's always there. I thought the road would take me far away, but the city's always just a night away. I can feel it pulling like it's in my veins. No matter where I go, it's always the same. Ghosts in the rear view, they never leave. I'm running from the city, but it's all I'll ever see. The road ahead, it promises me release, but the price of silence, here's never peace. The road's been long, but the end don't seem near. I thought I'd find freedom, but I'm still here. The city's in my blood, and it's burning slow. I've been trying to outrun it, but I don't know where to go. Ghosts in the rear view, they never leave. I'm running from the city, but it's all I'll ever see. The road ahead, it promises me release, but the price of silence, never peace. Never peace. standing by the river, got my bags packed tight. The city's in my rear view, I'm heading to the night. But the river's pulling heavy, like it knows my name. A man can run, but it won't erase the pain. The road's been long, and I've seen my share of sin. But every time I think I'm free, I feel it pull me in. I've been moving quiet, keeping to the shadows edge. Made my deals in silence, crossed my heart, I made my pledge. But now the city's gone, and the past is closing in. I'm trying to outrun it, but it's buried in my skin. I can't stop now, I've come too far to turn around. But the river's calling, and it knows just how to drown. Can I leave it all behind? Can I break free from the crime? Or will the river pull me back one more time? I packed my bags, still tired of this road. The city's fading, but the river won't let go. I'm running from the past, but it always finds me there. I can't outrun it now, I can't escape the air. Follow me like friends, but I know this road's gonna end. The river's all I have left, the one thing that still calls. It won't let me forget, it won't let me fall. I thought I'd be free, thought I'd leave it all behind, but the river keeps pulling, and it's never been kind. The train hums low, and the river whispers my name. I can hear it in the distance, calling me again. No matter where I go, the ghosts know just where I've been. I thought I could outrun it, but it's closing in. I've packed my bags, but I'm still tired of this road. The city's fading, but the river won't let go. I'm running from the past, but it always finds me there. Blinds half closed on the window, city lights cut through in stripes, desk lamp burning like a spotlight on these columns and these types. You're standing by the leather chair, hands buried in your coat. I tap a silver fountain pen against the corner of this note. You remember when we started with a cash box and a key? You would talk and I stayed quiet, let the numbers talk for me. You were fire out in back rooms, I was calm behind the door. You would shake on crooked handshakes, I would write down every score. Now this table's getting crowded with the things you won't recall. But every favor, every promise has a line here, one and all. I'm the man who keeps the score, every debt and every sin, every quiet little shortcut that you thought would vanish in. I'm the gentleman in silence, with your future in my drawer. You can smile and touch my shoulder, but I know what you're here for. Yeah, I'm the man who keeps the score when this city asks for proof, and these pages won't forget you when the bullets want the truth. There's a chessboard by the window, king laid sideways on its side, safe door breathing in the corner, steel and velvet locked inside, briefcase waiting by the bookcase, one more folder, one more name. You keep saying we're like brothers, but your bets are not the same. I still see us in that hallway, counting small bills on the floor. You were laughing at tomorrow, I was guarding every door. Thought we'd build a quiet kingdom where the cracks would never show. Now I'm circling your last mistake, and you're asking not to know. I'm the man who keeps the score, every ledger line in ink, every time you cross the limit, while you ordered one more drink. I'm the whisper in the staircase when the heavy steps come up. I'm the calm hand on your shoulder when they come to call you bluff. Yeah, I'm the man who keeps the score, and tonight you're on the line. You can walk back down that hallway, but you're walking over mine. When this city starts collecting what it's owed behind this door, you'll remember who was waiting. As the man who keeps the score. stained glass lamp on the desktop, throwing circles on the wood. Old leather chair beneath you, you're still sitting like you're good. Clock hands crawl above the bookcase, filing seconds into dust. My ledger open in the lamplight, names and numbers we don't trust. Revolver shadow on the block, half a chessboard by my hand. Black king waiting in the corner, never move until I plan. You talk loud about the corner, all the noise out on the street, but the weight of all that talking lives at my feet. You remember that back room night when you first came counting stacks, faded perfume over card smoke, steel briefcase against your back. How the dockside lights were swaying while we priced what men were worth. Who was profit, who was problem, who'd slip quiet off the surf. You were sharp and quick with answers, you could smell a crooked bet. You keep staring at this window, at the chair behind the door. Think the power's in the shouting and the boots that hit the floor. But I'm the man who moves the pieces while your name is on the street. I decide which hand gets taken, who runs cold beneath the sheet. Every loud man needs one ledger that the daylight doesn't read. I keep score for all you legends, I put lions on their knees. If you think you want that kingdom, there's a price you'll never see. Don't go reaching for that chair unless you're ready not to sleep. There's a folder with your handwriting, paper curling at the edge. Few small favors, couple secrets, one loose promise, one old pledge. I can balance what you've given against everything you've burned. I can hide you in the columns till the tables all get turned. But the higher that you're climbing, the more quiet you must be. Every word you drop in anger writes another line for me. I've watched louder men than you are end up folded like this chair, while the hand that signed their ending never raised his voice or glared. This whole city is a chessboard made of towers, docks and bars, tiny pawns and hallway mirrors, heavy rooks and armored cars. All their names are in these pages, every favor, every pass. Each one swears they are the story, none outrun this ledger glass. Cause I'm the man who moves the pieces. When the streets start running hot, I erase the wrong initials from the pages you forgot. Every loud man needs one shadow that the jury doesn't see. I write endings for you legends, I can stop your enemy. So if you still want that power, take this warning straight from me. Never ask to hold this city. till you've learned to count like me. Paint is peeling by the window, buzzing neon down below. There's a coffee cup gone cold beside a key on faded chrome. Room 17, thin curtain, highway singing soft and low. Bend over this cheap notepad, trying to find the words to go. Suitcase leaning by the doorway, zipper halfway open wide. Boots kicked under the chair, like I might still change my mind. Vending machine keeps humming in the hallway down the line. I'm writing you a letter that I'll never let you find. You wanted little quiet mornings, plants along a sunny sill. I keep waking up in places where the mirrors look too still. Out there on the backroom tables, I've seen hands that never shake. I've seen smiles with hidden razors, I've seen deals that make you break. You keep talking about a garden, kids that never learn these names. I keep checking out of motels with the same old card and games. If I lay this code in history on your kitchen waiting chair, they will follow like a shadow, they will breathe inside your ear. There's a number in my pocket, and it means they're on my trail. And they're asking where I'm sleeping, and they rarely ever fail. So I'm the quiet outlaw in room 17 tonight. I'm the gentleman who leaves you in the safety of the light. If I stay, they'll track my footprints to the number on your door. So I fold this unsent letter, slide it deep inside a drawer. I'm the quiet outlaw in room 17, you see. Walking out without a whisper, so they never come for you through me. There's a gas pump at the corner, taking numbers in the dark. I can see it from the window like a metronome for sharks. There's a diner sign still flicking, one blue letter always dead, like the part of me that's leaving every mile I roll ahead. I remember how you held me when I swore I'd come back clean, but the phone keeps waking faces that you never have to see. So I zipped the case in silence, lifted careful from the floor, take one last look at the notepad, then I eased the latchless door. There was a night beside a river when a man did not come home, and they asked me where he vanished while I sat there, dry as stone. That was when I heard the message written clear along the stream. Any heart that stands beside me wears a crosshair in its sleep. So I'm the quiet outlaw in room 17 tonight. I'm the man who pulls his shadow from your soft and steady light. If I stay, they'll track my footprints to the number on your door. So I leave this folded letter and the pen upon the floor. I'm the quiet outlaw on this highway you can't see, starting up a silent engine so they never drag your name through me. Night train humming on the metal, window rattling by my head, paper cup of bitter coffee, empty carriage glowing red, ticket folded in my pocket, name that isn't really mine, suit bag hanging by the doorway, boots still scented with that light. Platform sliding into distance, just a smear of glass and light. Saw a kid there in a suit coat, trying hard to wear it right. Collar stiff around his jawline, eyes too hungry to look down. He was staring at this carriage like it held the whole dark crown. I remember high floor offices with the blinds half closed at noon, leather chairs and silent partners, deals that bent the shape of rooms. One slow nod and doors would open, one dry word and doors would close. I could raise a man to velvet or leave him freezing in his coat. Every favor laid a staircase made of debts and quiet fear. Every step I took up higher, I could feel the edge draw near. Every fold assigned at midnight put another weight in stone, till the man inside the mirror wore a shadow I don't know. I wrote rules inside my notebooks, lines I swore I'd never cross. But this city crowns its winners, never counts the hidden cost. Now that boy back on that platform, where's my posture, where's my eyes? If he climbs the way I climbed it, he won't see the warning signs. I'm not your hero, I'm a warning on the last train out. All that quiet kind of power that you dream of comes with doubt. I wear a suit and move in silence when the lights go out. I'm not your hero, I'm a warning on the last train out. I can see you by the payphone, coat pulled tight against the cold, telling someone on the other end you're about to break the mold. Thinking all you need is backbone, sharper shoes and steady hands. Thinking crowns are made of metal, not of buried broken plans. Kid, I've walked those marble hallways, heard the whispers drop to hush, watched the bravest men go silent, and when I stepped into their rush, all that fear feels like a kingdom till you're sitting where I am, counting every name that paid for you to feel like more than man. There's a price for moving shadows that you'll never see up front. You can trade your sleep for status, but there's things you can't outrun. Every favor fills a ledger, every nod writes down a name. You can run this crooked city, still be shackled to its flame. I'm not your hero, I'm a warning on the last train out. I'm the rumble in the distance when your lucky streak runs out. I've got just enough of mercy left to ride this line alone, not for glory, for your mirror when you're older and grown. So keep your distance from my story, don't go tracing every route. You want calm and you want power, learn to stand there without shout. I'll be gone beyond the sidings when you figure yourself out. I'm not your hero, I'm a warning on the last train out. Last train out, metal bench, cold and bare, vending machine by the door, humming low like it don't care. Overhead and busted speaker, coughs a number then goes still. Boots on painted concrete echo, just my steps and just my will. I fold this page across my cheap and bleeding slow and thin. Little suitcase by the railing, all I'm brought from where I've been. Conductor watching from the platform, punches holes into my ride. I don't wave, I take the handle, pull the carriage door inside. town diners where I always face the door. Called it just a habit, never told you what it's for. Every corner, every mirror held a version of my name. On the good nights it meant money, on the bad ones only blame. I could feel it creeping closer, all the debts I never paid. Not in money, not in metal, just the choices that I made. If I stayed and tried to love you, they'd come knocking at your floor. So I'm leaving with the trouble, keep it far from your front door. Real men don't build their legend, standing shouting in a crowd. They move quiet through the motion, never have to talk too loud. Sometimes power's not a rooftop, sometimes power's just this seat. Knowing when to pull the handle, when to put your heart on feet. I'm the ghost in car 13, back to the door. Stare the window down the city, shrinking into more. You will never see me running, I just lean into the seams, slip away along the tracks and leave you sleeping with your dreams. I'm the ghost in car 13, back to the door. Fluorescent in the narrow hallway flickers, once then settles in. Cold hooked on the metal hanger, tired line and freighted brim. Ticket folded in my pocket, thumb keeps tracing out the line. Little number, little arrow pointing me away from mine. Coffee cooling in a paper cup, I grab before the gate. Hear a pair of muffled voices somewhere further down the lane. I put your name back in my wallet with the faces that I keep. Slide the letter in beside it, let the carriage rock me deep. Some men chase a painted crown until it grinds them into steel. Some men learn that leaving quietly is the sharpest edge you feel. I don't need them to remember, I just need to know I tried to keep you on the other side of every door where bad men ride. I'm the ghost in car 13, back to the door. Build my legend in the silence, not in shouting anymore. If you wake and feel me missing, that's the cleanest cut I own. 'Cause I chose to be a shadow, not to drag you where I've gone. I'm the ghost in car 13, back to the door. Men like me move through the margins, and we leave without a roll. coffee cooling in a chip cup while the trucks roll slowly past. You keep tracing little circles in the moisture on the wood. Eyes keep drifting to the duffel like you think you understood. You've been running little in, carrying what they hand to you. Thinking danger feels like purpose, thinking quiet makes you true. But the phone that never saves you is the one that rings for me when the story turns to questions and they need it not to be. You say you like my quiet, say you wanna learn my trade, but you don't see all the faces pressed like ghosts against this shade. I clean what you can't afford to see, all the wrong kind of memories that you left out in the street. When the night starts asking who did what, where were we? I'm the shadow at the counter, I erase your history, but the bill comes due in pieces, kid, it never comes in free. I clean what you can't afford to see. Motel key between the menus, number stamped in faded blue. I could slide across the table, say tonight it's all on you. There's a burner in that duffel and a shirt with no ID and a folded highway road map with a line straight out of me. First time that I answered, it was just a broken deal, just a car left in a pasture, just a promise not to feel. Then the calls got a bit later and the silence turned to grip, and my heartbeat learned the rhythm of a second sweeping tick. I clean what you can't afford to see, every footprint in the hallway, every stain on every sheet. When the questions hit the doorway and the answers try to flee, I'm the one who bends the story till it fits what they believe. But the highway keeps on humming all the names that used to be. So think hard before you take this key from me, 'cause I clean what you can't afford to see. some painted concrete, top floor of this garage. Stairwell light is buzzing like a tired bodyguard. Wind is pulling legend, city humming far below. Tail lights making little rivers where the traffic starts to slow. You're staring right at the heads like careful watching in your mind. Hands still smelling like the rubber from those gloves you left behind. Kid, you asked me for the handbook on how quiet men survive. So I brought you where the noise is small and all the deals arrive. First rule, keep your circle tighter than this parking lane. Every name you write down once can come back with a chain. Second, never move in anger, only move when you are sure. We don't fix a petty slight, we fix the things they can't ignore. Third rule, leave no traces but the ones you choose to show. Closed briefcase in the trunk, nothing loose you don't control. You see that black sedan below us, engine cooling in the dark. That's where every soft mistake ends up waiting for a spark. They think it's all about the swagger and the shine inside a coat, but real power doesn't shout, it's the hand behind the nose. Walk like a ghost and leave no echo. Keep every footprint in your head. Let all your secrets ride the shadow. Say less than half of what you read. If you wanna move like quiet legends, you don't chase thunder, you steer the show. You walk the edge above this city like a ghost that leaves no echo. There's a coffee cup beside me, cooling by this concrete rail. Little scratch across its metal from a night that tipped the scale. I watch cameras blink and swivel, I watch stairwell doors unlock. Time my breathing with the beeping of some distant loading dock. You don't see the sleepless windows, all the doors I never rang. You just see a man in black who makes a problem stop and sink. But every time I clean a story, cut a thread and close a lid, I lose one more harmless version of the life I never did. So if you're staying in the shadow, learn to carry it with grace. Don't go carving out a legend just to wear it on your face. Let your name stay off the folders where the loud ones love to live. Be the hand that moves in silence, not the mouth that has to give. Oh, walk like a ghost and leave no echo. Keep every footprint in your head. Let all your choices ride the shadow. Say less than half of what you said. If you wanna stand where quiet men stand, you don't chase thunder, you steer the show. You walk the edge above this city like a ghost that leaves no echo. Yeah, you walk the edge above this city like a ghost that leaves no echo.